Hi there. Let's use the Wyckoff lens to analyze FET. If you are new to my session, these are the 3 key things I'll cover during the session. So let's start with the weekly chart. So here, last time we talked about there will be likely more tests before coming back to the sign of strength, meaning a level above the light blue key level of 80 cents. Okay, it may even challenge the 98 cents. But remember, after sign of weakness, it can also come down to further tests again, just like what happened in the past, or if you look at other charts. So the past couple of weeks is still testing, between the orange and the red key level, 19 cents and 34 cents. So if I extend this intermediate level, so this actually comes from this particular period. So you see the peaks of those candles, right? That's why, and also the tail of these candles over here. That's why I'm putting this intermediate level, and the past couple of weeks, including this week, it actually show that this line has its effect. So let's tidy it up. All right. So now, after seeing this week's candlestick, which means quite a bit because even though we are up, compared to the open of this week, we are still actually getting rejected from the orange key level of 34 cents. Okay, last week it fell from there. The week before, it got rejected from the yellow key level back to the orange. If you ask why I said back to the orange, because it's a range. It's not just a single number. When I say a level, it means a range. So you see the candlesticks, they never just stop at one particular price point. It depends on, it's the entire market moving the price, right? So unless everybody is agreeing to that particular price point, otherwise it will never land on the exact same price. Okay, so this week it tested that level again, and just to get rejected and back to the 28 cents level. So this test may not be over yet. Like I said, it may still continue. So in the weekly chart, we may have to wait for a little longer. All right, let's get to the daily. Here, previously, when we discussed about this, I was saying this somewhere around the October 10th was probably the preliminary support, and the selling climax only appeared beginning of this month, and then automatic rally happened around the 7th. That we are waiting for a sign of strength, not happening yet. So we're still going through some tests over here. Okay, instead of using this, that's what we hope for, I should actually put one more. The test, meaning sideways trading. Alright. A second test is something that may get to the red level or even lower. But as of now, over the past 10, maybe even 14 days, 15 days, the test has been around here. Between the orange key level and this white dashed line. Alright, so this, if we look at the volume, it isn't particularly crazy. 2 days ago, the volume was a bit higher, but the fact is, let me pull this up, this higher volume corresponds to some buying from that support level. Okay, so it's not a bad sign. And then subsequently the volume declined, even during the climb today. But I'll give it a little bit benefit of doubt because it's Sunday. So when we get back to the weekdays, let's see whether the volume will pick up again like what we had on Tuesday and Wednesday, 18th and 19th. Alright, so when we look at the daily chart, yes, it's a bit more noisy, but we'll be able to tell a little bit more. So one thing here that I haven't drawn in this chart. This seems, so previously there seems to be a gradual declining trend, alright, until the point October 10th happened. That completely changed the trajectory. Assuming what's happening now, there are two possibilities, okay, from the selling climax to where we are. Usually, during the accumulation, it's a horizontal or sideways trading in the way a lot of people used to say it. Okay, it's trending horizontal, let's put it this way. I usually say trend up, trend horizontal, or trend down. Okay, it's like if you imagine a trapezium, okay, that's without the base, okay? It's like that. It's like a, I don't know, a cover. So if we put a loaf of bread on the table, we tend to put a cover on it, right? So that looks like that cover. So this, when it continues with the sideways trading, what we are hoping to see is a potential challenge to above the orange key level, like what it did during the automatic rally, or all the way to the ceiling of this box. Okay, assuming this is the horizontal trend. That's around 45 cents. Okay, that's where we want to see the sign of strength hit. It can go higher, it can challenge the yellow key level, that's totally fine. But after that, it may come down for more tests again until there's sufficient people willing to jump in and then push the price to a new distribution cycle. Alright. Within this box, as of this moment, it's still trading sideways. So if I draw an ascending bottom trend line, you see it's just edged outside of that line yesterday. Okay, so if you want to adjust this, it's fine. But it may continue to go sideways. If this really is going to go up, this line crosses the orange key level at around December 11th. So if this triangle has its effect, if the price continues to trade in the next 14-20 days along this line, then that's a breakout opportunity, and it looks like an ascending triangle in this sense. All right, not trying to talk too much about candlestick pattern, because I already mentioned in the past we can find quite a bit of exceptions for those patterns. So let's assume there is a chance if the price continues to trade along this upward trend line. I would say the tendency is still sideways, but let's see next week when we come back. All right. So I think I've pretty much covered everything for FET. Expect more sideways tests. So it can also come back down to near the red. So don't expect if there's a spring is over, it can have multiple spring. Okay, I mean multiple tests around the spring level that touches the spring level. It all depends on two main factors, I would say. How the market feels and how the big guys, the whales or the composite man, is trying to make the move. Alright, thanks for joining me.